So welcome, Karan, to this call. And before anything, I must say thanks a lot for agreeing to spend your time on a Sunday night with me and with all of the applicants. Uh, that too at a time which is like this time is a very rare time for you when you are you're done with your MBA and you are yet to start your job. So this kind of chill time and relaxed time you're not going to
Yes,
get for a long period of time. So
yes.
even in this time, you are giving your precious hours to us is very thoughtful of you. Thanks a lot for that. And before we proceed, because I know you, of course, can you please introduce yourself, your profile, and everything to the people who are present in this call?
Sure. Hello, folks. My name is Karan Jain. So I'm an engineer by choice. I graduated from NSIT in 2018. I'm born and brought up in Delhi, to sum it up. And I had approximately 4.5 years of consulting experience before I joined ISB. I'm from the batch of 24. And I worked in three prior firms spanning from ZS, which were consulting in pharmaceuticals, to real estate industry, and then in EY, where I was consulting government clientele, which I and Anshul were talking about if you were present in the start of the call. And then I joined ISB, and we'll be discussing my journey there, so I'll stop short there. And moving forward, I'll be joining Nagaro as a management consultant in industrial automation domain, involving AI and industrial tech specs. And that's it. That's a short journey that I have.
Yes. So, Karan, I want you to ask one thing. I get so many queries from people. They say that I have frequently jumped careers before my application to ISP, different industries, different functions. Will that hamper my candidature? So you are someone who has done that, right?
Yes.
You were in ZS and then you moved to something very different, real estate, that too not, if I remember correctly, it was not some recognized firm or something which everyone.
Yeah, it was a small mid-tier firm. Yes.
Yeah, and then you came back to consulting again,
Eva.
EY,
Yes.
but it was very different than what you were doing in ZS. Very different.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, and you did all these changes within a span of 4 years, if I'm not wrong.
Perfect. Perfect.
See, I remember everything. Okay. So, you did all that three changes in 4 years. Did it anyway impact your candidature? I know what happened. I remember what happened in your interview as well, whatever you narrated me. But did they kind of grill you during the interview on this?
Yeah, they did. So, am I just supposed to talk about candidature for coming to ISB or even during the placements at ISB?
No,
I'm
no,
allowed to
no,
go up
no, no, no.
just
During ISB, I don't want to talk about placements at ISB. These people right now they just want to they just need to get to ISB somehow. Once they get in,
okay.
they will manage placements. I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the point is that it does matter when you switch careers. And coming from the interview panel, so they did have a question in mind that you jump too many ships within a very short span of time. So they might question your loyalty in that aspect, that why weren't you loyal enough to the firm? To the aspect that you could have stayed there for 3 to 4 years and learned many more things, because it's a multinational firm that we're talking about. And even if it's a small firm, any firm has something to teach you over a span of 5 to 10 years. You cannot simply say that you learned the entire industry within a year. So you'll be grilled on that part specifically, which I think I narrated exactly to what Anshul said, that they wanted to know what I did exactly, to what length, duration, tenure, and what all responsibilities I held, even in multiple projects, in every role, because they wanted to know that whether am I making it up, or did I switch, or was it an involuntary switch that I was compelled to leave the firm, or was I fired, to put it in a better perspective. But when I gave them the clarity that I switched for particular reasons, so like in my case, I'll just narrate my case. So I joined ZS as a decision analyst where I was consulting in pharma space. But I wanted a change of just rhythms there. And I was offered a management level role in real estate. But the firm was not as prestigious. And I went for monetary reasons. Make it clear in the interview that why did you go? Even if it was monetary, own it up. Because if you won't own it up, interviewer is smart enough to realize that you went from a brand A to brand somewhat becoming to brand A, and you say that you're doing charity purpose, believe me, you cannot bullshit your way out of that.
Yeah, yeah.
If
Alums, you
if you
cannot bullshit. Impossible.
yes, if you try to do that, you will end up creating holes in your story. And no matter how many bandages you put, one bandage is enough to rip that off.
Yes, yes. I
Just
agree.
one.
One
So do
stupid thing you
not
say in the interview, it's gone.
exactly. So at times it's better to come out straight and say, yes, I was given a better pecuniary compensation. That's it. It's tough. It's a hard bandage. Peel it off. They'll swallow the hard pill. Ki, okay, you are a money-minded person. But at least that is out of the way. Now you can say, ki, now more than money, I'm here, and more than that, I've done something. So you must have involuntarily done some social initiatives there. If not, no worries, no worries. Just simply narrate the role. So, like for me, it was that I did certain of the charity purposes in the housing for the clothing department, but that was a very short drive. Mainly, I was for money and I was getting to head a small team. That's it. But after a while, I realized it's monotonous. So I switched back to EY because they were offering a government level role where I will be interacting with government clients. Now, the switch was not monetary. That I explained to them that if I went from X to 2X, I went back to X. So now the story makes sense to them. Ki, okay, you were genuinely jumping ships out of random reasons. And curiosity can be a reason, believe me when I say it. If you can say that you were curious, it's fine. You're allowed to be curious because it's multiple firms you're talking about, multiple domains. Even when I say pharmaceuticals, which side of the pharmaceuticals? Is it retailing? Is it manufacturing? Is it R&D? So while I'm speaking of it, there are multiple sides to a single industry and there are multiple industries. So you can easily say, like, yes, I was curious. I didn't know which industry I would fit best in, be it AI, be it machine learning. And that's what, at least in my case, I think that helped them convince, ki, okay, you realize what was your ship? And being very honest, I said, not yet. I enjoyed working in every domain. But if you were to give me a choice now, considering I want to live a settled life, I might choose pharmaceuticals because I've had most of the experience there. But I don't mind working for government in a much more higher management division where the groundwork is a bit more hassle. They were convinced. Okay, you are still yet to figure out and how you say that you need to float your boat. So you really need something, and being at times it's better to be candid to the interview. At
Yes,
times it's better.
yes. I completely agree. Uh, One more thing, Karan, I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
You are an engineer, okay?
Yes.
Most common group which applies to ISB. Your GRE was also lower than the average GRE of the batch because your batch, the average GRE was 330 and your
Yeah.
GRE was 326, if I remember correctly.
Perfect.
Oh,
Perfect.
I am very glad of my memory today. Anyway, so your GRE was 326 and you are an engineer. Many people are very scared when they have these statistics. Ki, oh, I am a male and an engineer, and my GRE is also lower than the average. Many people self-reject themselves at this stage. And I am also not from IIT or any such colleges, top colleges. What kind of led you to still apply and go ahead without self-rejecting yourself?
So basically, you need to have confidence in yourself. So whosoever has this doubt, first of all, just build confidence in yourself that why you are special. You would have your own story. Everyone has their own story. Be it IIT Delhi, be it IIT Bombay, or in my case, NSIT. Everyone has their own story. If you can sell it off in the sense that you know why you are the best, or why you had scored less, or why, or maybe something you did that distinctly sets you apart from the others who are following the academic rut, believe me, you should apply. And there is no room for self doubt. There'll be ample opportunities outside anyway.
Right.
Why are you doubting yourself? There are others who are doubting you, right? It's better when you put confidence in yourself. And at times, I would say, show some resilience in the aspect that you will sail through. If not now, next time. But you won't sail through because you're not competent or because you do not deserve to be boarded on the ship. That's not the right mindset to go through. Like, for example, how Anshul said that my batch's average GRE might be 330, but I scored 326 and I was more than happy about it because I know that there is just not a single score that defines me.
Yes.
If you were to talk to me, Karan, who are you? I would not say I'm GRE 26. No, that should be at the last of my things. I'm many things and then a GRE score, if you want to put a number to it. Even 10th, 12th I might not matter. NSIT might not matter. Who are you as a person? What's the substance? Can I talk to you? If I can talk to you, your college, undergrad, postgrad does not matter. You will meet many people, even at ISB when you make it through, who are from stellar colleges and who might be from not so stellar colleges. And the level of difference would be in the communication style. And you'll be like, you'll be amazed at their excellence, at their pedagogy and whatnot. But
Yeah.
they would not be able to communicate. And at times you would be in awe of some personality who might not hail from a stellar background as like you were told that you should have, like Harvard, MITs, or IITs. So that's totally fine. Do not self doubt. Self doubt is never a key to success. Believe me, there are others out there who are doubting you anyway, be it family, be it relatives, or be it your closest of friends. They'll see there's a difference between envy, jealousy. Self doubt is the last of the emotion that you should develop because you only are the enemy of it. That's the only problem. So you need to overcome that. Watch any motivation talks and anything that does not help. Just simply believe that you are the best and just sail through. Hadsat, what would happen? You'll get rejected at the interview. So it's just an interview. No worries. That does not define your competence. Like I and Anshul were talking about, there are two different things. You being competent and you being unlucky. That's it. It's about being unlucky at a particular set of time. Take it chill. Take a chill pill.
I always say that if you just believe in yourself and go to the application phase, I mean, writing the application phase and then eventually the interview phase with a lot of self-confidence and self-belief, you have already beaten a lot of competition because day in and
Perfect.
day out,
Perfect.
to trust me, today morning I was talking to one guy. He had talked to me already before. And today he again, Anshul, I have only worked in a bank and my ACATs are also low. And I have given him an example just a few days ago of someone from your batch, Lalitya. I don't know if you know Lalitya or not.
Oh, Lily. I know.
Yeah, okay. I don't know her pet name. Lalitya was an SBI PO and she had only 710 or 720. She went to ISB with a 16.5 lakh scholarship. I have given
Yes.
all these examples to him. In my batch, there was a girl called Kavya Tripathi. She came from, I think, Punjab National Bank as a PO, and she is doing amazingly well today. So I gave him all the examples that day, but today he again came back with the same self-doubt. So, I always say if you go with a lot of self-belief and, a lot of confidence, you will already beat half of the competition because half of the people are like this guy. I will not take the name. He's a part of our group. I hope he's not attending the call, otherwise that would be very ugly. But I just want to say that imagine I gave him examples, I motivated him just 20 days ago, and today he's again gone back to the same self-rejection mode. So please, people who are here, I mean, Karan gave a beautiful monologue. I mean, I can't tell you how it was, what he said. Please have some belief. You have worked for 3 4 years. You must have done something good. If you are really that bad, your company would have thrown you out by now, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You as a human being, just don't let a brand define you. Other than that, you're good. You're walking right. You're good. Just don't, even if you go beyond ISB, even if I ask you, who is Anshul? Anshul would not say I'm an ISB. Anshul would define himself and then at the end, yes, I did my MBA from ISB. Now you make a certain, you would say, what a follicle of his personality. That's up to you. He is not asking you to make a big deal out of it. He's
Right.
saying, yes, I have studied in the tier one college and I have a good network, but I am more than that. So that more than that he has, I have, you all have it. It's not that I have graduated from ISB and suddenly Karan is talking some nonsense. No. Anshul actually had a mock with me, believe me. I had those same doubts.
Yeah.
But self-doubt I didn't have.
Yeah, you
So
never had. You never
yeah,
had the
don't have
self-doubt.
self-doubt and you can recover it. Don't worry. Even if you have 8 years of experience, how will you compete with younger generation? Believe me, they want your wisdom. I have been through that college. There are people out there who need that maturity. Believe me. Half of the cohort you will be end up calling how immature of him to not do that, to not do that, to not do that. And it's just not academics. Believe me, it's a life that you're living there. So if you have self-doubt here, believe me, that will be propound itself in ISB. That does not help.
Yes, I will reiterate. You never had this problem. So many people have, and that's why I say if you do not have this problem, you have already you half the battle won. For
Actually, you didn't give me time to have that. So basically,
no, I
I
don't
was
allow.
extremely
I trust me when this guy today called me and he started again ranting about all the negative things about his profile. I blasted him very badly. I said, you will not be able to go to ISB with this attitude. It's impossible. They will catch this self-doubt and in the interview
exactly.
2 minutes. So
And guys like Anshul is saying, so at times it will be there, like ISB alums are only called for the interview. So it might happen that in one of the panels, Anshul is sitting there. So now believe me, when he has only mentored you, would he not be able to catch you? And if he can catch you, so can other alums who might be senior to him. So they have worked in firms, there might be some CXOs, there might be some very senior level management employees. They can sense that fret. Is that fret due to non-answerability or due to self-doubt? And that's when they'll go deeper down the spiral and make you confess that, okay, you don't deserve the college. Okay, cool enough. Your interview is over.
one more thing I say this
Yes.
during the interview phase, but because we are discussing this, I wanted to say this to people who are attending. Your interviewer might not be from your background at all.
Oh, yes.
Okay, they might not have a clear understanding of what you do. How will they judge you if you have actually done something substantial or not? They will judge you by your body language, by your communication, and how confident you are in talking about what you have done. If it diminishes a bit, they will not be impressed. They will catch you that, okay, you have not done something good, something substantial.
Precisely. So, guys, imagine having a mock with Anshul himself. So, he has not worked in every domain, right? He's a human being. So, imagine you telling him that I did this. And if he does not have a stellar expression, that does not mean he's not impressed. That means he does not know whether it's an impressive thing or not. So, if you are able to posit that thing confidently, and if, for example, Anshul asks, okay, was this special? That does not mean he's being sarcastic. That might genuinely mean that he's being curious towards your profile. And that's when you should let him know that, okay, if so and so thing is very, very stellar to have, why so? If you were employee of the year, then if there are only 3 employees, then it's not a big deal. But if there are 3,000 employees, then yes, that's a big deal. Anshul might not know that number. The denominator you will decide, not him. So him being curious, him being sarcastic, or him making certain expressions as an interviewer does not mean he's doubting you. So like the interview expression he said, and again, and what the words that Anshul said really matters. He might not be from your domain. So that's a very, very strict caveat. So you might throw around, okay, I was employee of the year. I brought in ROI of, okay, ROI is a general term. I
Hmm.
brought in of TAT of from 3 to 2. Okay. Was 3 to 2 a very significant effort? You only can propound that. Because turnaround time of 2 days, okay, 1 day only. But
Yeah.
1 day, what did I 1 day achieve? I and him would not know. So if we are interviews, you'd be like, hi, TAT 3 se 2 ho gaya tha. Okay. So that
Yeah.
should not come
The
up at
moment
the
you
end of
start
the
giving these shallow answers,
yes.
that's it. And you're gone. Tata bye bye.
Then you're then yes, then the interview is over. You need to be very confident. And believe me, just have faith in him. He'll prepare you. He will look at everything, be it your body language, be it your verbal skills, be it even how you are using the ers and ums respectively. You cannot sound too narrated, you cannot sound too prepared or underprepared. He will look at it.
I remember,
He,
sorry to cut you off, Karan.
yes,
In your intro, you always used to say, I am from a very reputed college called MSIT.
exactly,
And I told him, don't say this. It is their
exactly.
job to judge if it's a reputed college or not. You cannot say this because there are people from IIT Bombay there. So
See,
your college is
exactly.
nothing in front of them.
So I was often told that NSIT is a good college, good college, good college. So I end up developing that sense of pride. And you can call it my immaturity, and I'm ready to confess that was my immaturity. But I was ready to learn from him that, okay, that's not how you introduce even in a professional setting. Forget the interviews. Even if you were to ask him who is Karan and where are you graduated from, you would not say T or one. No. I graduated from NSIT, situated out in Dwarka, specializes in these branches. That's it. Now it's for them to realize whether it's or not. And even if they don't, okay, fine enough. Sure. Even if I'm from IT Bombay and he says IT what? Okay, cool. He might be a foreigner. He might not know IT Bombay. You need not hammer him down. IT Bombay is the best college. You are not the dean of the college.
Yeah.
Just relax. And there is certain maturity that you realize even during the interview process that you can take it forward in your life. Like what he told me about my college, how I should put forward my introduction itself. I never had that setting in that constrained environment. In the jobs, you're allowed to do whatever you want because they know your profile. They know certain of the flexibility and certain of the FAF comes with it. FAF is an ISB word meaning show off, so I'll just use that. But in ISB interview, at least you have to be yourself. You cannot come across as shallow. And for him, for that, I actually thank him that he actually removed those two words, most prestigious.
I don't know how I still remember this, but
But it's good. It's awesome. At least you remember this.
yes,
Now I'm
yesterday
glad at least I
Ruchir,
left an impact.
yesterday Ruchir also came, and somehow I was able to remember even what I had written in his essays. And I mean, of course, it sounds a bit boastful right now, but I'm glad with
You
age, I
should
am not
be.
losing my memory. I'm like, still, memory is very sharpened. Anyway, Karan, let's talk about IIM Ahmedabad. I distinctly remember the night of your ISB result. ISB result came late night for you. And the next day, you had IMA interview. And I told you, do not go to that interview. It's not needed. What did you do? I do not know yet. So tell everyone.
Yeah. So basically, I'll just start from the night itself. So
Yeah.
at 11 p.m., I called Anshul before the result came that I have an interview. He said, he prepped me up and
No,
everything. He
no,
said,
no. You after the result, you called me. You had an admit.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I called
Yeah.
my brother. Sorry. After, so I had my result. I called Anshul. Anshul, I got into ISB. He was elated. And he genuinely used those words that I had it rooting for you, but now chill. And the next doubt that I have, I think he lost his calm because the doubt that I asked was that I have an IIM interview tomorrow. What should I do? And he said, are you mad?
Yeah, yeah.
Why are you even thinking about it? Go party, do whatever you want to do, take a leave, chill. You have 4 months now. And I still said, okay, should I choose ISB then over IIM? He again lost calm. He said, am I not clear enough on the audio?
Big. See, so Karan, sorry, I'm cutting you off again.
Yes, yes.
I this year I had two people who got both ISB and IIM Ahmedabad, Sindhura and Syed. Syed chose IIM Ahmedabad, Sindhura chose ISB. Okay, so it's not like I'm not saying ISB should always be chosen over IIM Ahmedabad,
Yes.
but these two schools have very different personalities, and the
Perfect.
kind of people who go to these two schools are very different. So for your
Yes.
personality, for your caliber, the kind of person
Hmm.
you are better suited at ISP, not at IIM Ahmedabad at all. So that's why,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think I should add that. It's
yes,
not the black and white rule. Perfect. Perfect. And now coming over to Ahmedabad experience. So Ahmedabad interview is quite different from how ISB interview
thank you for
transpires.
saying this. Thank you.
Very different. So basically, the moment you enter, you will realize the setting is different. There are two interview panelists. Generally, it's two because I have discussed it with many people and I might be wrong. Now, what they end up doing is that they want to know your profile in detail. And believe me, when I say detail, it's a different kind of detail than what ISB requires. They at times would want to know certain failures at your firm, which you would not repeat. So that is one of the questions which I found a very awkward question. Okay. Then they have a bowl of slips. They'll randomly ask you to put your hand in and impromptu pick a topic. And then they'll ask you, you can see the topic. You can decide whether you want that topic to stay there or not. And if not, you can just second time, that's the last time, you can put your hand again and choose a topic. And that topic you cannot deny. And that is a topic on which your interview will go on. For me, it was a 30-minute interview. And the topic that I had was fast fashion. So through that topic, that 30-minute conversation happened on fast fashion, which is an impromptu topic. Believe me, when anyone is given the topic, it's lucky enough that you know the topic. For me, because I have been in news and everything already, and I read about brands, so I knew a little bit, but not a 30-minute stuff what they were asking about. And that's how the interview will go. And they'll grill every aspect on how you react to their questions, on how you react to their pressures, their deadlines. Like they'll ask you to randomly do a guesstimate of fast fashion. Okay, how many jeans are sold? Just quickly, can you calculate? It's a random question out of the blue. You cannot say, no, I cannot. Just, it's a mantra. I think Anshul will teach you. Never say no. Come up with an incorrect answer, but don't say no. Try to come up with an approach impromptu themselves on the feet there and then, because that shows that you can think on the feet. When you say no, that means you are at a comfort level and you won't go beyond your confined barriers. That is not how interview panel should judge you. At times, I don't know what those times might be where no is a good answer when any question is prompted, but at least for any guesstimate or any case study, never say no. So I did that guesstimate and everything. I was off by at least a factor of 10, but they liked the approach. And the approach was very, very rudimentary. So Ahmedabad is quite different from ISB. I'll caption it again. Do not just simply assume that since you have taken the services of ISB interview consulting with Anshul, you are done and dusted for IIM. You're confident enough, that's a different story. That's a different story. But if you are thinking it's same copy paste, don't make that mistake at least. Don't just control C, control V there. Go in with a
So
different mindset.
I am Ahmedabad now. I have a separate team. Of course, the control is still with me. First and last
Okay.
mock is still with me, but the second and third mock are taken by IMA PGPX Alum, who are seasoned, very senior people who know how to
Yeah.
tackle
I
this.
consider actually myself lucky that I got into IMA. But it
You
was
got into
I
IMA.
yes, I did.
You were one of the double admits of mine, and I
Oh,
didn't know
so
this.
basically, since you had already prepped me for ISB, I was in that much of ISB journey that
Oh
by
my
the
God,
time
I don't even know this. You got into IMA as well. I would have told so many other people that I already have an IMA admit. Your batch only had one person who actually went to IIM Ahmedabad, who was Himanshu. He couldn't get through ISP. He went to IIM Ahmedabad. And I thought I only have
okay.
one person during your batch. This batch has five admits. Four actually went, one went to ISP.
Oh, that's good.
2.5% of the batch of IIM Ahmedabad is from my side.
Oh, nice.
Okay, great, Karan. This is even news to me because you never bothered to tell me. I mean, you should have told me that you got it.
I, actually, it's not that I didn't bother. It's the point is that by the time I got to know, I was like, meh.
Ha, yeah, I agree. For you, of
So,
ISB admit, nothing matters.
so actually, yeah, I was in that high of ISB journey and networking and connecting with pre-ISB folks so much
Yes.
that I didn't even realize that I got into the college until very late. And I was humbled that, okay, I got into it, but the real alumni experience was beyond. But okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Rakesh has a question. If does past experience matter as ISP who has 65 throughout? 65 throughout means 65, 65, 65 in 10th, 12th, and graduation.
And how many years of experience? Have
5+
just
years of work ex.
it does not. See, again, you have a story, right? Why that 60? Okay, before answering that question, you have watched 12th fail, right? Everyone. If not, please watch that movie.
Yes.
That movie is a very, very clear answer to your question. He failed 12th and yet he cleared UPSC. ISB interview is not tougher than UPSC interview. At least you guys believe that, right? He cleared UPSC interview despite failing in 12th. You are saying 65, 65, 65. It was zero for him once. So, if not zero, at least failing percentage. So now coming back to your answer, it it all translates to the fact on how you convey it. It does not matter 65%. It matters on what circumstances and how you want to perceive those 65% as. If you yourself say in the interview that 65% was a bit less and I wanted to aim higher, and next time I secured 73, they are looking at the number 65 and 73 and doing a year-on-year growth rate. That's it. Even they know that someone has secured 65, someone might have secured 99. That does not matter. But if you say that you secured 65 and you did a lot of hard work and then next year you end up securing 40, that's not a story that is selling. Then you need to come up with a different story. So the story that you have would have certain 10 advantages at why 65 or why not 65. Something like that. And again, if that is a reason of self-doubt, don't. Be proud of yourself. And the moment you come across as confident, like Anshul said, They won't matter. They will try to pin you down there. 65, isn't it too
No, no,
less?
no, no, they cannot. They cannot because Karan, your
Okay.
ACATS and GMAT score are masked during the interview.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. I actually didn't know that.
It's
So I
okay.
didn't know that percentage. Yeah. So if they, so see, you yourself will dig your own pit. Now, so I'll say that.
Yeah, yeah.
So the moment you come across as underconfident, they'll themselves realize, boss, what happened? If that is masked, you can come across as confident.
Yes.
Simple. And even if it is not masked, guys,
I
it's just
had
a number.
67% in my graduation.
Exactly. Number does not define you. Again, I'll say, repeat the same story. And Anshu, like he himself confessed, it's a number. We both are alums. Believe, at least believe him. Don't believe him. Believe him.
No, no, you are equal. You are an equal now. You are also an alum, so definitely, I am no
But
way
yeah,
better than you.
but yeah, number does not define you for sure. For sure. Number does not define
Okay, so Shivam is asking maybe because you are joining a kind of technologically techno kind of
you.
whatever.
Technology consultant. Yeah.
He's asking, did you have any prior experience in AIML before joining ISB?
I
No,
had.
you had?
I had. So in through ZS and through real estate, I had that, which I tried to incorporate in EVA as well.
Okay.
So I tried to do online courses in Coursera through Andrew Nagy, Stanford courses, and John Hopkins courses. And yes, to sum it up, yes, I had prior experience in AIM.
Okay, now
But
the important question
ISB placement, but is a different aspect, guys. So don't worry about that part.
I want to ask a very important question now.
Yeah.
Application. I distinctly remember you gave me some draft, and I don't know what made me go through your LinkedIn profile. And
Oh,
in your
yes.
LinkedIn, I saw something which you had not mentioned anywhere in the draft. Then I called you and I asked you about it. And you said, oh, I didn't think that it is relevant or it is very important.
Yes.
He said, it is not your job to think. Your job is to give me all the information. It is my job to
Exactly.
think what is relevant and what is not for your application. So these kind of conversation, these kind of to and fro between me and you, I mean, between the applicant and the mentor, these things take time, right? It
Yes.
cannot happen at the last moment.
Right.
Now, there are so many people, some of them are present in this call as well. They are following the strategy. They are only in GMAT right now, GMAT and GRE, GMAT and GRE, GMAT and GRE. They have not even opened the application. They don't even know the topic ISB essay topics. They have not even started brainstorming on what they will write, what they will not write. What is your opinion on this strategy? That till end, I will only focus on GMAT or GRE, and in the whatever time is left, I will write the application because I always say this strategy might work if you achieve very high GMAT or GRE score, right?
Exactly.
Then you
Exactly.
will be an advantage. But what if you don't? Because in your case, you did not have a very high GRE. In fact, you were much lower than the average. So,
Exactly.
what is your opinion on this?
Uh, Guys, RK, I'll answer your question. I just saw that. So answering this, don't put all your eggs in one basket, guys, folks. So, like Anshul said, application is actually very important. Believe me. It was 18th of August that I gave my GRE, 18th of August 2022. Yes. It was on 24th of August that I randomly saw a blog by Mr. Anshul. He has written, you should write this in your essay. 4th September is the deadline, folks.
Yeah,
25th of August, he calls, I call him,
yeah.
can you help me? And he says, let me, I think he goes to my LinkedIn profile and he says, okay, I can, but it's just a week. And I know within that week, whatever to and fro happened could
Oh,
have happened much
sleepless night.
more easy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, much more easy and would have been beneficial for me as well as him to know both of us had that been a month-long process.
Yes. Or even
Just because yeah,
more than a month.
exactly. Just because crossed it in a week does not mean that everyone should do it. Believe me, it's a
No,
very risky strategy.
there was one thing that was very good with you. You had a very crazy job, but you are very responsive. And I had told you before starting that next 10 days are going to be very hell. Like next
Yes,
less than 10 days are going to be hellish for you. And you said, no, no, well, we'll do it. I remember when this conversation happened, then I checked your LinkedIn and then something popped up. And then I said, this is very important. You have not even mentioned anywhere in the essay. I remember I was having dinner with someone in One Horizon Center, And we were so short of time. I was having dinner with someone, and I'm on laptop reading your draft and doing your LinkedIn. And I took a break. I said, I just need to make a quick call. The person I was having dinner with came out, called you, and then I kind of shouted at you that
Yes,
don't use your mind. You do not have time to use your mind now. Please give me all information. And then by
exactly.
late night, you added it and then you wrote it. So I just want to highlight, guys, that it takes time. Karan was able to write a very good application, and which eventually helped him with an admit. Even his GRE was 4 points lower than the average of his batch. 4 point is a big gap.
Yes,
So again, if you're able to get a good score, then great, the strategy will work. But what if you don't? At least your application should be strong. This I discussed with Ochiris also yesterday, and this
exactly.
I have your opinion as
And guys, like Anshul says, so basically what he'll try to put in your essay are your peaks, are your highs and your lows. At times you'll agree or disagree, that's between you
well.
and him. But give him time. If you won't give him time, he won't have enough time to saturate himself with your highs and your lows, that whether that should go in the essay or not. If you only give him 3 peaks, he'll write those 3 peaks. But if you have 10 peaks, there needs to be at least more than 10 days for him to absorb those 10 peaks. And then he can realize, okay, these 3 things need to be there in the essay, even if they highlight a negative failure story in your life. He needs time to absorb that, and you need time to think on those 10 points as well. So, like he himself said, that I myself missed an interesting point about myself
Yes.
because I had a shorter timeline for myself.
Yeah.
I didn't plan it that way. But if you can plan it right now in the month of April, do not plan it that way. I was not in. So basically, I did not know that R1 happened in the month of September, and I was not rooting for it. But I got a score, and it was a good score as per my grades. And that's when Anshul said that, okay, I'll help, but you need to be very responsive. And believe me, when he says very responsive, you need to be. So why are you putting yourself in that spot where you cannot even you miss out on your own journey? It's not his journey; it's your own journey. And if you don't get an admit, he'll also be disheartened because
Oh, it
at the end,
like I don't know. I can't even say how much it hurts. Like it feels like a personal loss when someone is really working hard and not it
I
doesn't.
still remember that he, I don't know where I heard it from Ruchir maybe because we both ended up considering him and we still do as an elder brother of the sorts by the end of the process. That you can come up to him with the IIC process. So believe me, when you are considering him your elder brother or younger brother, considering your age, he is likewise reciprocating that feeling. So he'll also feel bad that boss 8 point था बता देते एक हफ्ता पहले क्यों आए थोड़ा टाइम में आ जाता है और अगर वो पॉइंट स्टेलर है तो if that point is stellar enough that it could have made a difference, you would yourself feel very guilty. That guilt is enough to eat up your months at least. So don't do that. Start your application process, and if as in start as in think on it. Start brainstorming with it. GRE prep will or GMAT prep will go along. It is not a 24-hour process. You can just look at a question and decide, okay, what are my highs? What are my lows? Whatever the question is, and what's prompting you in that direction, whatever it is, just brainstorm with them. Be punctual, be on time. Because at the end of closer to the R1 deadline, even he would not have time.
Yeah.
So use that luxury. He would not be there.
Okay. Nishant is again.
Yeah,
Nishant has asked a question. Does ISB look for stellar work and see the words he has
tell
used?
her.
I have experience in FP&A in an IT firm managing where I have worked and driven the EBITDA improvement. Great. Joined BlackRock, but my experience there is average. It is of much lesser quality. He is already convinced that it is of lesser quality.
Seriously.
Nishant
Acha,
have already taken a step back. We
serious.
were just
Yeah.
discussing how do I justify that during the interview? What more can be done to make my work stronger? Can you answer this, Karan?
I'll actually answer in one line. Nishant, who do you think is which do you think is a better work ex? CEO of Nagaro or a just random associate at McKinsey? You cannot, right? You cannot compare because one is a CEO level, right? So when you cannot compare two roles, how are you deciding that adjective in the first place? So drop that
Don't
adjective now.
know where these people are coming up with these notion that my work X is lesser quality. Compared to what? And who is
Exactly.
comparing? who is giving numbers? Oh, you got 6 out of 7 and you got 5 out of 7 in this. So this is high quality, this is low quality. I don't know where are these, I mean, कैसे ये notions कहाँ से आ रहे हैं, क्यों आ रहे हैं, इतना self doubt क्यों है, self rejection कहाँ से, I don't know. So
And like Anshul and I are equally confused. Believe me, it's not for show. I know you might have been told कि if you want to get into good tier one consulting firm, you need to be from Big Four and everything. No, no. Believe, no. I'm the recent most graduate. Even if you give Anshul that doubt कि you are 5 years old, no, it does not matter. If you have worked in a company and you can justify your role at the company and whatever you achieve at the company, it's a good work ex. If you yourself feel underconfident, do not mention that work ex.
you're
It's
Nishant, you're yourself using negative words for your own.
yes,
Now, how will you justify? You'll, no matter what you do, you'll not be able to justify it in the interview that you have done something substantial. So correct the attitude first. Get the
yes.
confidence. No, what I have done is something substantial, and I will say it confidently first in the application and then in the interview. So again, even
Perfect.
before you start doing anything, you need this attitude check. You need to correct this mentality.
It,
Then you
and
can.
if that thing is coming from because of the firm's name, guys, you're not running the firm. And if you are, if you're not selling it correctly, it's all the fact that you have to sell your profile. Believe me, sales and marketing starts at the interview. Believe me, you are selling your profile. Rockets. If your guys not watched Rocket Singh, was that sell a pen. You are selling your profile. Why should a college select you? If you yourself cannot convince them that why you are the best, how would you compete amongst those who genuinely think they are the best? So that's a one-line answer. BlackRock does not matter. It's a very good firm. But again, if you did a normal job, explain it normally. Even if you did a stellar job, that's your adjective. Explain it in a humble fashion. That's the, I would say, the brighter end of it, that you're coming across as a humble guy, as per your words.
Akshay is
Easy.
asking, one of my seniors who got into Schulich, which is much lower rank than ISB, by the way, Akshay, kind of blasted me that I shouldn't dream for ISB as I have 6.18 in engineering. I have a stellar work experience with IPO and several acquisition experience, and I am in self-doubt about it. My question is, should I still work hard for GRE and I give it and hope for ISB admit, or my efforts are futile? Will I even have a 50% chance to get in if I have a 330 in GRE? Oh my God. Oh my God. And
Guys,
I remember Akshay, I have talked to this guy at least 1 or 2 times. He's a very smart guy. He has done a lot. He is also able to communicate all he has done. That is another advantage. And he has worked in healthcare. That is another advantage. But look at someone, some random person who has gone to a college which is much lower ranked than ISB. He told him something and he is gone. He's self-doubting himself. He's even self-doubting if even after getting 330, which is higher than average now. Right now, the new batch that has started is 329. The average decreased by 1 point. See the amount of negativity people have and how much people are getting affected by random comments. Karan, any comment?
really, guys, okay, if that is coming across as a very, very repeated point, just have a conversation with any random person. Okay, not Anshul, because Anshul knows you
No,
now.
no, no. Karan, I wanted to tell you there is a pattern. These people have all talked to me, and I have given them lots of examples to motivate them. But they are still someone outside ecosystem, ISB ecosystem is telling them something, and they are believing that person. They are not believing me. I don't know why this is happening.
Guys, don't do that. So basically, it's a matter of fact that if you are able to sustain a conversation with Anshul, sustain, believe me when I say sustain, he'll try to kill that conversation in the mock interview. He'll try to ask the point, and if you're not able to explain it, he'll move beyond. If you're able to sustain that point, you're good. But that's it, full stop. There is no comma, there is nothing. Good, you're good. There is no other adjective for it. He cannot guarantee anything, neither can anyone. And neither can anyone guarantee that you cannot. So if it's a 50-50 race, let the 50-50 race be in your favor. Make it 100-0, at least in your own mind. Let 50-50 be in the panelist's mind. You yourself can be confident, right? That you are in this college. Act like it. That why you should not be in this college. Behave like one. Behave like an ISB grad. Be mature, be confident, and come across as someone who someone would want to have a conversation with. Not someone who would want to like guy. He was a weak, very weak personality. No, you guys all talk to Anshul, right? It's very strong personality. You guys were charmed by it, right? Did he even say that he was from ISB? And if he did, you must have forgotten about it. Which batch? See, that's the effect of conversation. Just believe in yourself, please. That's my
I do not
humble,
believe in people who are outside ISB ecosystem. They do not
please,
understand.
yes. Yeah, please. Who credits, hats off to that person who might have gone to Schulich. I'm not deeming that particular person. If he thinks he knows you well, okay, credits to him. Don't give him that advantage that he knows you more than you know yourself. You can change the moment he knows you. Give yourself that benefit of doubt. You have 3 months, 4 months, whatever the time it is. Give that benefit of doubt to yourself and just go ahead at it.
I
Rejection will come after your attitude.
I sorry to cut you off, Karan,
Yeah,
because
sorry.
I really want to tell a story, real story from ISP, from my ISP days. And
Perfect.
again, please do not. I mean, guys, it might sound a bit boastful again, but I really want to tell the story because I am very proud of myself of what I did back then when I was at ISB at a very young age, because I went to ISB when I was 24 or 25. And the youngest person at ISB is 22 years age. So I was 24. So I was kind of one of the youngest there. So in ISP, when you go, I don't know how it happened during Karan's time, but my time there used to be two P2P session. One P2P session with alums, one to one. One, when you immediately go to ISP, they will allot an alum to you. Alum will come to the campus and you'll have a 30-minute discussion. Is it still happening, Karan?
It's happening, but just not physically. It's happening over telephone now.
During
Yeah.
my time, it used to happen physically, and the
Okay.
second P2P session used to happen just before placement. So, of course, the alums are mapped according to your post MBA goals so that the best of the discussion happens. I went with a very bad profile to ISP, very bad profile. I mean, my profile as in for work experience, very bad work experience. My academic profile was very strong. My extracurricular entrepreneurial profile was very strong, which helped me to go to ISP, of course. But I went with 1.5 years of experience in a random startup, जिसका नाम भी किसी को नहीं पता था. And I went with big dreams. And I was mapped to a senior marketing manager at HUL because my post MBA goal was also marketing. She comes, she looks at my resume and she makes 11 red marks in my resume. 11. No, this
Yeah.
is not that, this is not, this is no, this. And she told me, you have to understand you're aiming for a marketing role and you're competing with people who have already worked in Google and Microsoft. So this will not work, this will not work, this will not work. At the end, she told me a lot of things. She told me, why have you written that you are EO admit, which is having less than 10% of batch, and EOs are less than 10% of the batch at ISP. So I said, because I'm proud of it, that I am through a route which is very difficult to get to ISB. She's like, no one cares. Then she told me at the end, she told me MNCs will not take you. Startups will take you because you have come from a startup. And again, there is no brand name of that startup. And one thing again, she told me, you are jumping careers. I said, I'm not jumping career. I just studied something else. I studied dentistry. I was not interested. If immediately after graduating, I started in marketing. So she's like, no, it doesn't matter. And she made 13 red marks. And I'm not kidding. I did not change any of the suggestions that she gave me because that would have killed anyone's confidence. Imagine a
Yes.
24-year-old guy with hardly any experience going to that crazy placement session, which Karan knows how crazy it is. How can it can wreck your mental health?
That actually happens in physical. Sorry to cut you off. That actually happens, still happens in physical
Yeah.
capacity that an
I
alum looks at your
remember,
resume.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I
Over to
completely.
you.
I remember feeling very demotivated. I was almost in tears. But then I came to my room and I said, no, whatever she's telling me is her perspective. And then I looked at her LinkedIn also. She had a very traditional, BCom from some very fancy college in Delhi University. I'll not take the name, otherwise you guys will be able to find her out if I give her everything. And always a topper. I could see RDPS RK se padi hui, and then ISB mein also she was merit list, gold medalist or something. Very traditional route. So she couldn't understand it why a dentist left everything in dentistry and then started doing digital marketing, and then he came to ISB and wants to go to marketing. non-digital marketing, full-on marketing. So she did not understand, and I'm like, I am not blaming her. She just couldn't understand. And how can she understand my profile in 30 minutes? She has not lived, she has not gone through the experience that I have been through. So I did not make any of the changes. I applied with the same resume, and I had shortlist from all the MNCs. In fact, startups didn't shortlist me. I had shortlist from HUL, PNG, Danaher, Samsung, DirectEye, uh, J&J, and one more. I had all the shortlist. I wanted to stay with healthcare, so I chose Danaher. So I did
Perfect.
not let that comment of that, and she was an ISB alum. She had the credibility. But then I told myself that she does not know my story, yeah. And she did not do anything with like in a bad with some bad intentions
Yeah,
from.
she just had a different experience.
She couldn't understand my story. So
Folks, exactly what he said the last time, please understand that correctly. Just because someone is not able to understand your story does not mean that their view is correct. You have your own journey and you decide your journey. Until unless you meet exactly the person who has traversed your path, but the exact, when I say exactly, it means 10th, 12th, professional life, ISB life, family life. It is next to impossible, believe me. If you do, then be lucky about it. You can ask him or her everything. Other than that, if even if one of the things is different, the butterfly effect takes place. Hypothetically, if I and Anshul are very same, and just after dentist, I did a practice of 2 years and it didn't, that changes the aspect. That means I did something which he didn't. So now we are not similar profiles. So that's what I'm trying to say. It is very tough for someone to say that, had I been at your place, no, no. There is no had I been at your place until unless the question is very, very generic. And when it comes to ISB application, the question is anything but generic. I think Anshul has proper panelist experience. He would know everyone has their own set of experiences. There is no person in the interview panel whom ISB selects who could say कि तो वैसा ही था. नहीं. He couldn't explain is a different story. If you explain it in a very run-of-the-mill fashion, then yes, panelists will make sense ki, okay, candidate A, B, C were all same. Otherwise, you give them points to distinct yourself. Simple enough. Otherwise, every Bollywood movie is same, guys. You guys end up watching every movie, right? Because there is something different. Just that flavor, he'll make you realize again. I'm emphasizing on the same aspect. Discuss with him, brainstorm with him as soon as possible so that you can start your own reflection and he can point it out. Yes, that's something different, which he did for me while having dinner at 11 p.m. That Karan, that is something very different. I need that point. Please write it.
yes. Somesh is asking, how do I show the highs of my career when my last company is perceived to be one of the worst culture-wise and is already at the verge of bankruptcy? I was holding a core sales position at Byju's. Somesh, one of the Byju's senior sales manager is currently at ISP. He was my student, and you had to listen to him, how amazing he was in communicating whatever he has done in Byju's. And he has been an in and out Byju's person. He started his career Karan, you would be surprised. He started his career as a telecaller, sales
Oh
telecaller,
my God.
and he's currently at ISP.
I think Somesh,
Trust
you got
me,
your answer.
he never had the self-doubt that culture kharab hai, this never. He came to me, Anshul, I want to go to ISP. Help me. And he was the guy who had the most scolding from me because what you did at one place, Karan, that you did not include in something, he had so many things which he was not including. I don't know why. So he got a lot of scolding from my side, but he did everything and he's happily at ISP today. I couldn't, he couldn't give me time to do a session like this because I really wanted a session like this to, motivate everyone. Imagine starting your career from a career as a sales telecaller and then going to ISB within 6 to 7 years, not very long ago. So, Somesh, I think you have your answer. These things are just excuses that you're giving to yourself. These things do not matter. You need to just jump into the process and you will get in.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
Somesh,
And
I'm not talking about Ritachit. I'm talking about a guy called, his name is Sai Charan. He is currently at ISP. Okay, guys, you can unmute yourself and directly ask questions. Okay, I have
yeah,
given,
please go ahead.
yeah. please, rather than typing and then it is
And
very.
I'll just fill in my LinkedIn profile in case anyone wants to reach out to me
Yeah,
there.
you can do it at the end so that it is everyone can click on it and save it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
Akshay,
Makes
please,
sense.
please go ahead.
Sorry, I'm the first person and I'm reiterating my question. Karan, have you in your ISB cycle seen people with lower GPS, and is it true that those guys do not get management consultancy jobs? Because I know कि McKinsey BCG बेन तो मुश्किल है लेना, but even like the percentage issue is also there for Gartner, और क्या सीन है उसका?
See, uh, keeping it short, which we can discuss over LinkedIn as well. GPA matter, I would not deny, but it not matters to the point that you kill yourself. So by
Yeah.
the time of placements, I had a GPA of 3.57. It's a decent
Sorry,
GPA.
this is bachelor's. I'm talking.
No,
Bachelor's? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
who is?
Oh my God. You are stressing yourself way too much. Talk to Anshul. He'll give you all the answers.
No, he
It
has
does not
already
matter.
talked to me. He has already talked to me
I have
that
spoken with
twice.
him.
I don't know where he
Yeah.
is getting all these wrong information and see having.
Doesn't
He's a very amazing guy, trust me. And he,
Akshay, believe me, does not matter. Like I'm
I'm
sorry, Anshul,
gonna
I cut you
trouble
off.
Anshul this application cycle anyway, but I want to also listen into the Alim because I don't know, matlab,
I am also
my
an.
senior is kind of नहीं I know like recent
Acha,
Alim
okay,
जिसने
okay. I'll put a
McKinsey
number
BCG
to
इनके
it.
सपने देखे हैं.
Okay, okay. I'll just ask you to put a number to it in case you don't mind. What was the GPA that you were so scared of?
6.18 on a scale of 10.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. It does not matter. It does not matter.
Okay.
Even if you scored 5.1, I would say the same thing. Believe me. The only GPA that matters for those companies, it is actually the ISB GPA, will be to a certain extent.
I have seen
It's not as
3.5 out of 4 people going to McKinsey because McKinsey needed that profile for some project.
exactly.
अच्छा.
You would randomly see people of 2.9 GPA. Believe me, I won't take the name. And then it was like 2.9, I heard 3.7, I couldn't get into McKinsey. It's a very tough fight within ISB, and that fight is not on grades. Believe me, we all dream about Harvard and INSEADs, right? They take
Yeah.
people from diverse backgrounds, from diverse grades, just to show college that grade is just a number. Look at the personality. So it's a personality that defines you going to ISB and then going to the job within ISB. Grade is just a
Good.
number. That's it.
And what's the percentage in the batch which gets a foreign foreign placement?
That you cannot decide, Akshay. It differs from batch to batch.
Actually,
It's very
yes, it
impossible.
actually.
Mm-hmm.
So for my batch, it may be if you just want a number of out of 900, out of 800 maybe. So maybe 44. So 5%.
Ruchir was one of them.
Acha.
Ruchir is one of them.
Yes. Ruchir was one of them. So
हाँ
5%.
And I remember Ruchir
5
was
to
so
10.
tense, placement Nuri Anshul, placement Nuri. I'm like, ho jayegi. And all of a sudden, he replies, ho gayi. And you're off.
Yes.
Like, that's it.
Thank you so much for your time, Karan. And Anshu.
No worries. And Akshay, just to see, I'll pin in my LinkedIn profile in case you want any further conversation just as a confirmation, you can pin me there. No worries. Yeah. Anyone who wants to go next?
Yeah, is a GRE score of 320 okay to apply or not?
Yeah, we had two admits with 320 and 324 respectively, Anushila and Namrata. So, of course, it will be a challenge. You really need to have a very strong application and a very good interview, but it's not impossible.
And what
See,
kind
guys,
of style is okay for that? I mean, if you say strong, can you just
Profile does not matter, Ishita. What matters is your application, how well you communicate whatever you have done in the application and eventually in the interview.
all right?
so just to put that thing in perspective, even if you work from McKinsey, does not matter.
Yes.
But if you work from XYZ firm where you actually handle 3 tasks at the same time, fab job. That shows time management and deadline management at the same time.
I know there are two people in our group. One is from Bain, one is from BCG. 700 in this thing, 700 in GMAT and 325 in GRE. ISB did not even invite them for an
See,
interview.
guys, it
And
does not matter.
Ananya, who studied at lovely professional university, worked at some random edtech startup for 3 years, but managed a lot of things in those 3 years in that startup. is currently at ISB with 12.5 lakh scholarship.
So it
Need to
all depends on how
start-
you narrate
Need to
your story,
start
guys.
the application process so that you can figure out, okay, this is the question they have asked. Now, what all I can add? Yeah, Akshay.
My question then is also in the application process, people can write a lot of stuff
They
which may
cannot.
not be true.
You cannot write a lot of stuff, Akshay. There are only 400 words.
नहीं नहीं लाइक जो उन्होंने किया हुआ है, जैसे आप बोल रहे हो ना कि वो लवली प्रोफेशनल वाली मैम ने कुछ अच्छा किया होगा एंड बेन वालों ने कुछ अच्छे से नहीं लिखा होगा अपने रिज्यूमे में, लोग बहुत लिख सकते हैं. So that was my question, that how do you define it? Like for me, honestly, I do a lot of things. I also do podcasting. I also kind of do
So
my
then,
owning.
do not go into that rat game on what can be true or not. I think Anshul is a better judge to answer here, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
don't think what others are writing, what is true or might not be true. If you have things to write, just worry on that part. Don't worry. Whether ISU can
Will
verify or
keep
not,
Okay.
thinking, keep
And
doing rather than writing your own shit. If you start thinking about what others are doing.
exactly. Don't think about how others might be lying on their profile. If they are, then okay. So, no other words for them.
I'll give you another example, Karan. There's a guy called Jayan Mishra, just 2 years of work experience in TCS. He's sitting in some tier 3 town in Bihar, working from home, making apps. He's currently at ISB with 12.5 lakh scholarship again. And just on 4th day, और orientation में कोई PM quest करवाया था तुम्हारे बैच ने. He won the case competition in the orientation week only.
Nice.
He never self-doubted. I work in a company like TCS. He was not even fluent in English because 2 साल से वो बिहार में बैठा हुआ है tier 3 town में.
Perfect. I think there are enough stories that I think Anshul can actually solidify your answer.
Yeah, but he never had this self-doubt like these people have. You can see the comments he never had. He was very confident. He's like, हाँ करना है, बस करना है, सिर्फ करवा दो.
Guys, self-doubt, now using my own lingua franca, self-doubt होगा. I'm not denying. होगा. और the moment you discuss it with anyone, वो बोलेंगे यार इतना अच्छा नहीं है, मैंने बहुत लोगों का सुना है. Like for example, मैंने पेन में था, उसका नहीं हुआ. They would not know the full story.
Yeah.
Chill. तुम्हें पता है तुम बेस्ट दे रहे हो, right? If you are giving your best, just have that confidence. I know it's easier said than done. Build हो जाएगा. नहीं होगा, डाउट मत, अपने पर डाउट मत करो, मतलब क्योंकि इसका सॉल्यूशन नहीं है. Being very honest, the only cure is you yourself.
I
Problem ये है.
understand that there are always a small set of people, and I'm understanding it with every passing year because every year I'm working with a bit more people. There are few set of people, उनको जितना भी motivate कर लो ना, they will still go back and listen to the negative thoughts and the negativity. They will not be able to hold on to positive thoughts. I have seen this. There's a small group of people who it is impossible to motivate. So I just hope that you guys do not belong to that group. Self doubt होगा यार, मेरे को भी हुआ, आज भी होता है. अभी just to share with you, Karan, I met a very close friend from ISB, my batchmate. I was visiting Mumbai, so we caught up. And then we were having coffee, and then she's like, Anshul, are we doing well? It's been 6 years of graduating. Are we doing well when compared to other people from ISB? I'm like, I think we are. Then we kind of deep dived. Are we really doing well? So the self-doubt hota hai, but then you have to come out of it. And you have to look at the
Yes.
positive things. Right. So I
That
just
is
hope
actually
you people are not one of those that who cannot come out of that self-doubt, because this will not
yes.
take you anywhere. You will be stuck with this forever. You will never come
तो
out.
guys, सेल्फ डाउट मुझे भी हुआ था. सबको होगा. नॉर्मल है. There are n number of journeys there are n number of stories which can bog you down or inspire you at the same time.
Yeah.
But just have that confidence. हो जाएगा, और नहीं हुआ तो नहीं हुआ. You were not the reason. Your prep was the reason.
नहीं
The
वो
difference.
try करेंगे.
हाँ,
There
there
is
are two different things.
Aaron, I don't know if you remember, there was a guy called Vishwas who was with you guys preparing together. You might not remember. He was one of the group calls with you as well. ISB kind of waitlisted him till the last week and ultimately rejected him. This year, he went to ISB with 18.5 lakh scholarship, same profile. Nothing changed in his profile. He came back to work with me. He's like, Anshul, if someone can help me, only you can. I'm not going with anyone else. We did a call with him. We did a long call with him before he went to ISB. He's currently at ISB. And trust me, he is going to win that chairman all-rounder gold medal hota hai na? He is going to win that. I am telling you on record today, he's that smart. Even he couldn't get in, but he never self-doubted. He's like, he was maybe grieving for 10 days. 10 days he grieved. Yeah, Anshul, what ye ho gaya, kaise ho gaya? And then he came back. He's like, let's start. No self-doubt, nothing. So there are people like Vishwas, but there are always people like जिनको बहुत मुश्किल से मैं निकाल नहीं पाता हूँ self doubt से. But let's see. I'm trying my best.
हो
Yes,
जाएगा guys.
I
Just
think we're talking a
relax.
lot. Let Prerna ask her question.
Hi Karan, I have a question. I have done my masters in chemistry from Delhi University, and I am currently into teaching profession. You must have heard about Akash, Ellen. So currently I'm working
Yes.
with PW. So
Okay.
I want to change my I want to do MBA, and currently I'm preparing for GMAT, and I am not sure how much I'll score. In MOOC, I'm getting 550 near to that. I'm thinking that I'll prepare more and increase my score. So one of my mentors, like who is taking the coaching for me, he told me that first you focus on GMAT. Like 1 month is enough for this application process. So what you think? Like what should I do? Should I simultaneously prepare for the application, or should I completely focus on GMAT? Because I don't have any experience in management. I'm completely into teaching.
Prerna, I had a chemistry professor in my batch.
Okay.
I will try to connect you to him. Okay, that is one thing,
Okay.
just to understand. Second, I will answer the question, then Karan might add this.
Perfect.
Now, this strategy will work very well if you end up having a higher score. If
So
you do
that's
not,
why I asked you the question.
if you do not, then you will be left with a lower than average GMAT and a lower than average application,
Okay.
right? So please be cautious. Karan, you can add anything if you want.
Yeah. So again, don't put all your eggs in one basket. More than that, so you have worked in PW. First of all, congratulations. That's the only profitable edtech startup, I think. But
Yeah.
but more than that, so GMAT score is a criteria for you to get in, but again, it's not the only criteria. So, like for example, your journey at PW. So I myself can draw certain lines. So you have worked at PW, and everyone knows that's the only profitable edtech startup. So if you have done something worthwhile there, and since you taught chemistry there, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So that's a peak that I can myself see, and I'm not your counselor as such. But again, look at the application in parallel. So, like for example, with your introduction, I am able to come up with certain of the facets of your personality. There would be certain other things which Anshul might be able to come up with, and then he can discuss. And then there might be disagreements. No, Anshul, I do not think that is something special. And Anshul will be like, okay, fair enough. Then they'll discuss something else. For him to say, let's discuss something else, there needs to be time at hand. If you give him only 4 days, what will he discuss? So it all boils down to that. He can do his work, you can do your work, but it is not a zero-sum game. It can be a non-zero-sum game where he can learn from you and you can learn from him. So that both the processing go hand in hand. And GMAT prep is not that much strenuous that an application brainstorming cannot be done in parallel. It can be, believe me. Ho jayega. Parallelly you can do.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, no worries.
Yes, Aditya.
Karan, first of all, thank you for this wonderful session. Lot of
I must say,
insights.
sorry, I'm cutting you off, Aditya. I must say before I forget, Karan, it's amazing. I mean, when I was having the same session last week with Himanshu, who went to IIM Ahmedabad, same batch as yours, and I was telling him that I'm just smiling ear to ear just by looking at your responses, that how much you have transformed. That's not the case with you. You are always smart. But I just want to say thanks a lot for your comments, because this is really, really amazing. And this is really helpful for people who are attending. Yeah, Aditya, sorry, please go ahead.
Actually, the introduction was very similar to what you just said. But coming back to the question, so during your ISB interview, right, like I am a reapplicant, I'll be honest with you. And in my interview, last time when I felt that somewhere down the line, maybe I had dropped the ball during the interview. So how do you keep the panel's interest in you, consistent, and how do you keep that, I would say, the quotation on a high during that interview? If suppose, they're not impressed
Okay.
with something, how do you salvage the situation?
Okay, so fair enough. So like I would preach with all the other interview experience that I had. So if I'm able to interpret it correctly, there were in the within interview itself, there is certain of a low point due to certain of the question, and now the next question you want to come across as high and sustain it all the way so that it comes across as strong. So answer it that way. That it is often humble enough to say even and accept and acknowledge that okay, I do not know answer to that question, even if they ask. Like for example, there might be certain technical questions in Ahmedabad interview, and if you do not know answer to that particular industry, you can acknowledge and say, okay, I do not know the answer to that question. That does not mean that you're coming across as weak. And if at times you do get mired in crossfire of certain cross questioning and your answers contradict and you are left stranded, okay, let it be. Each question gives you a new life to breathe in. Treat it that way. Do not let the previous question hamper you, just like you won't let a previous question hamper you had it been a written question. You do not know answers to all questions if you were attempting an IIT or a NEET exam, right? But you do go through all of them and decide which one you would answer. Similar is the interview experience. If one question gets bogged down, the other question you answer it with a high, again with a confidence. Okay, you are on a new boat now. Each question gives you a new boat and new lifeline to sail through. Treat it as that. And that's what will help you. If you carry that baggage of failure of the previous question to the next, it will affect a little. And that's not recommended. Isolate that incident and then answer with confidence. The interviewer looks at that. Even Anshul would be more than happy had he been an interviewer during that time. He would be more than happy to see you coming across as confident in the next question right after your pressure tested. Right after that. He'll be more than happy, and the point that he'll take across, or any panelist will take across, is that this guy is steadfast, he's resilient, he or she is resilient. That adjective is not very easy to come by. So yeah, because you'll be going through that similar experiences in ISB, getting shortlist, rejected, and shortlist again, rejected, interview selected, rejected, again shortlist. So that cycle of acceptance rejections goes through. So
There is a guy in your batch, was a guy, I mean, in your batch, Samarpit Kalra. I don't know if you said a
he's
hi.
my very good friend.
Oh, I'm glad my mentees are becoming friends with each other. He was 2 times reject when he applied with me.
He
2 times.
told me. Rather,
And
the first talking point of ours was when I said Anshul, he said Dr. Anshul.
it's really, he was, I remember I met him the way I met you, Karan. I met him for the second mock. I met him first and third, though we took online because he lived very far. He's from East Delhi, I guess. I could immediately understand within 5 minutes of meeting that confidence is the problems. Because though I couldn't blame him because दो बार reject होने के बाद किसी का भी confidence would like नीचे जाएगा. And I had to lift him from
Exactly.
there. Lot of pep talk before the mock. Then we did the mock, and then I said, "Let's go out for a smoke." I used to smoke back then. I stopped now. So we went for a smoke,
Okay.
and we like, let's take a walk again. And we are walking in that polluted roads of cyber city. We walked, and then I asked him, I have to go to Amuse Mall for shopping. Do you want to come with me? Because I realized this guy needs to be pepped up. Otherwise, he's
Yes.
great. He has great score. He's 740 or 760 in GMAT. Imagine getting a reject after such a high GMAT.
That guys actually listen to these stories, that it does not just matter on the score. I think Anshul has those examples where you can say good score, not selected, bad score, selected. So there is no good or bad, that you have that notion in mind. No? So it's just a score.
Where is Samarpit joining, if you don't mind me telling?
Accenture.
Oh, consulting?
Yeah, he's joining as a consultant in
Great,
Accenture.
great. And he shared a lot of personal things which were pulling his confidence down. Of course, I'll not say this in a call. And I kept pepping him till the end. And I'm so glad I remember 11:30 in the night, he called me because results came very late for him. He was round 2.
Okay.
He called
Yeah,
me.
I think he was not Arvind. He said that.
He shouted, "Ki, Anshul, I got in, I got in, I got in." So just have some concept. This is how important self-confidence is, guys.
Yes.
Some of you are completely lacking looking at the comments today. So please, once you go to sleep, please, once you wake up tomorrow, please leave all the self-doubt and comments from random people from Schulich and where not behind you, and wake up with a lot of confidence that yes, from today I'm going to just put my heart, mind, and soul into applying, and I'll put my best foot forward. That's it. Okay, again, I'm speaking a lot. Please, guys, unmute and ask.
Yeah. And
Anshul and Karan, this question is directed to both of you.
yeah.
So I'll give you a background. My elder brother is in Tepper right now, Tepper School of Business, CMU, and a lot of people from his batch have not gotten placed yet. And I'm sure कि ISB का भी वही scene होगा अभी.
No, no,
Okay,
no, no,
different है.
no.
Okay,
ISB
Definitely.
everyone.
so ISB
So
is definitely I'm going to apply, and it's a dream school for me because I want to stay in India as opposed to my brother. But my question to you is कि जो 35 LPA average and median बताते हैं, how true or false is it? Because I'll give you an example. I have a friend who is a 2020 COVID batch ISB pass out, and her salary after 4 years of working is still at around 23, 24.
Heh,
So, हाँ.
this is
So
he is an outlier. Don't worry. She is an outlier.
yeah, देखो, again, Akshay, uh, being very honest and answering it in very candid terms, देखो market बहुत अच्छी नहीं है, ठीक है? Market is going through a slump. So if you follow Economic Times and Financial Express, you would get to know that. Companies वही हैं, hire उन्हें वही करना है. Same IIM, ABC, ISB, Tepper. ऐसा तो नहीं McKinsey different हो जाएगी, BCG different हो जाएगी. तो for that matter, Nagarro, Accenture different हो जाएंगी. Market is bad. अभी speaking for my batch, average would not be 35 at least, but 23 भी नहीं. That's what I'm trying to say. Average would be in the range of approximately 27 to 30 के बीच में. But that also when they had to place 850 students across such a bad market situation. And if I remember correctly, even till now, 99% of the batch is placed. It's just 1%, 8 to 10 folks are left. And CAS is still helping them find the opportunities. The situation was bad in the month of November, December, January. So I'm being that candid that when you could say that इस time तक तो आधा batch place रहता था, तब 1/3 ही हुआ था. Till January, the situation was not good. February में हुआ, March में हुआ, and ISB administration took it on themselves. So the reason that ISB is able to do that, if you are able to get that from it, is because ISB और एक और college है SPJSOM मुंबई में शायद वो. These two colleges are administration-led placements, not student-led placements.
Yeah.
So they're actually concerned about you getting placed. Right? Average package की बात, तो यार देखो, average package all depends on you as a person and what you want to take. Desperation, you might end up taking a 22 lakh package. So then that's not on ISB. That's on you. Jobs यार देखो हर range की आती हैं. Starting from 22 till 60. Obviously, I'm not saying कि 60 में तुम apply नहीं करोगे. करा होगा, नहीं हुआ होगा. Okay, no worries. But there are certain packages which you desperately end up applying to क्योंकि मुझे place होना, मुझे place होना, मुझे place होना. ISB आपको options दे रहा है. You can choose to not apply. अगर आप apply कर रहे हो, then you are applying it out of your desperation. Because ISB wants to get all the cohort placed in diverse roles. और हर एक role की एक limitation होती है, हर company की एक limitation होती है as per their budget. If you want the numbers, Bain hired only 2 in my batch compared to 30, 60 which they hired in the previous batches. Only 2. The number is 2. It's a single digit number. Bain का application criteria था that you have to be a former Bainee to get hired in Bain.
And that was for the first time they did that. They had not done it before.
Exactly. But that does not mean Bain is a bad company. Bain is going through a market slump. It's going through losses. Okay, every company has their highs and lows. अब अगर कल को मैं क्लास ऑफ 22 के आलम से तुम्हारी बात करा दूंगा तो you guys will be primed up. कि क्लास ऑफ 22 में every person got average of 2-3 offers, 3 to 4 offers.
Crazy placement for class of 2022.
Crazy.
Yeah.
McKinsey hired 65, Bain hired 70. These numbers are not real. These are primed up numbers, and that's not ISB primed up, that's market primed up numbers.
And
Modi
and
chief
see
guest
the jump so soon. I am not that old. I'm just six. I just finished 6 years in 6 years of graduating. My batch average was 25, and look at the average now.
Yes, so average is high. Up 35 है कि नहीं देखो, that will depend on the stats. I am not sure of the 850 people who got placed. But अगर मैं average भी निकालूंगा ना अभी, it would be 32 was, it would be. क्योंकि देखो तुम average पूछ रहे हो, median नहीं पूछ रहे हो. Correct the metric. Median is something that you should look at. Average तो यार बहुत आसानी से skew जाएगा ना, 4 बच्चों को 2 लाख मिले और एक को 10 लाख मिला तो हो गया 100. तो that is not how it helps. So don't go at the average. There are stellar companies coming. There are stellar placements happening. Finish.
I do not want to comment about placement because outside my prerogative, but I'm so glad all of my students, 16 people, all of them are very well placed. Karan,
Yes. Yes.
Samarpit, Lalitya, Riya, Aditya, everyone, great
You're
placement.
more than happy with the placements. And folks, believe me, once you have ISB as a tag, नहीं पसंद आ रही जॉब छोड़ दो. कॉन्ट्रैक्ट थोड़ी ना साइन कर रहा है कि नहीं छोड़ोगे तो मार डालेंगे.
Yeah.
Guys, अगर 20, I don't know about your friend who's actually working at 23 for the past 4 years. I don't know why.
I don't think it's true. First of all, she's lying or she's an outlier. That's all.
Or yes, exactly. She's a total outlier that she has not get switched the job. Okay, she
Or
might
she's
have got a
really very dumb. What is she doing in the company that she is not able to?
exactly.
Sad.
You can end up securing a 23 lakh package. I agree. But आप switch करके 40 कर सकते हो उसे. And I know a story already.
Yeah.
Believe, LinkedIn profile चाहिए होगा भेज दूंगा.
Anshul, one more thing. So, since you have graduate हो गए, आप 6 साल हो गए आपको. So, how is the community besides the placement season? Like within 6 years, how much growth can you see in the Indian market?
No, the growth is amazing, Akshay. It's a very valid question. And the best part is network. I mean, I am reaping the benefit of network. I cannot tell you how much. I'll give you one real example. Yesterday, I get a call and she said, I just got your number from somewhere. I will not tell you from where because this is a very discreet hiring happening for a Japanese MNC for which is into medical device because I am in healthcare. You guys already know. She said it's a very discreet hiring and it's for digital marketing. And someone told me that this is the guy you should go to because in this industry, finding digital marketing people is very difficult. And he is the only one from a tier 1 college. And she said, I will not take the person name and I will not tell you even the company's name, though I later found out the company's name on my own because she's like, it's a very strictly discreet hiring. Of course, I'm not interested to shift right now, but I'm just giving you an example. This is the power of network. I'm pretty sure the person who referred me is a person from ISB. Otherwise, people do not know about me, where do I work and all that jazz.
Yes.
This is the power of network. Imagine you will get to know about the jobs which do not exist publicly. And she's like, she was a third-party recruiter, of course. She's like, your LinkedIn profile I've already shared. They already want to talk to you just for this thing, just for formalities. Please send your resume. Just giving you one example. I'm not even looking out. Market is down. Market is further bad in healthcare right now. After COVID, healthcare has not recovered yet. Market is down. I'm not looking out. I have not even applied anywhere. I'm not even active on LinkedIn. And I'm getting calls. Hey, someone has referred you, please come. This is the power of ISB. ISB's tag and ISB network, which will, and you will keep reaping the benefit every year. And इसको मैं कैसे quantify करूँ? इसको मैं CTC में कैसे डालूँ? बताओ. I cannot. This is my third company after I graduated, and I have never applied to any company yet after graduating from ISB. I have worked in the largest company in my industry, that is Medtronic. I have not applied to any company yet. Jobs come to me. I take a call which one I should pursue. This is the power of tier 1 college.
So guys, it will happen on its own. He did not ask anyone to refer to him, and he does not. He would not be meeting 50.
I'm not even looking out. I don't want a job. Not
You
looking up.
socialize with 3 to 4 folks, and despite that background, people know about you because when an ISB, one look at a LinkedIn profile, the network will come in. Finish. So that's the short end of it. I have posted my LinkedIn
Please
profile in
do not
comments.
look at immediate CTC and all that to make
Yeah,
it.
please not right now. We can talk on it as an immediate alum. Like as a 2-year alum I would be
Yeah.
more than happy to
Talk to
talk to you
people
about it
who were
once the
graduated 2 years ago,
applications.
3 years ago, 5 years ago. They will tell you
Yes.
the exact value of ISB.
So yeah,
If
and
you'll
don't
talk
think
to
about the
Karan after 2 years, Karan will have another perspective about how ISB has benefited him. Right now, he just knows Nagaro. In 2 years,
exactly.
he will see the benefit, I'm pretty sure.
Exactly. So guys, just keep your head straight. Don't self-doubt. I've posted my LinkedIn profile. I'm posting it again in case you want to connect with me. Just send
Yeah.
an invite. I'll accept. And always available. And just believe in him and brainstorm with him as much as possible. As much as possible. Like a client does with the lawyer, that privilege is always there. Discuss with him everything. A
I
to
don't
Z.
use the word client and consultant. I use the word mentor and mentee.
Mentor mentee. So
Yes.
mentor mentee privilege is there. Discuss with him everything. He'll be able to help you out to the fullest. If you hide 3 things, those 3 things will end up hurting you, not him again.
Karan, this question might come off as ludicrous, but how do the play? I know placement तो हो ही जाएगी, but ये placement का जो case होता है, this placement process, do they come with a fixed package or do you sit on the table and you negotiate with them?
No, you can
यार
negotiate. I did. I
दोनों होता है
negotiated with hardly any experience. You are going with 5 years of work experience. You'll have much more negotiating power.
दोनों होता है हाँ मतलब like Anshul said यार it depends on the market. It's mostly not in your hands at times. अगर कंपनी ने बोला हुआ है negotiated है मतलब there are certain cash rules. मतलब इतना डिटेल में मैं नहीं जाऊंगा बट दोनों होता है नेगोशिएट भी होता है लाइक आई नेगोशिएटेड बहुत बार तो नेगोशिएट नहीं जैसे एक्सेंचर डिड नॉट नेगोशिएट एक्सेंचर ने बहुत कम लोग लिए नेगोशिएट करा है
Okay.
तो ऐसा होता है तो इट
I also
हैपेंस
couldn't negotiate a lot because when I started doing it hard, they said, you have only 1.5 years of work experience.
यस
Yeah, the minimum is 3 years. We are still considering you, so do not open your mouth a lot. I said, अच्छा, okay.
एग्जैक्टली सो बहुत बार होगा कि आईएसबी के ऑफिशियल से कहेंगे प्लीज डू नॉट नेगोशिएट है नॉट नेगोशिएट है सो यू विल बी गिवन फुल इंस्ट्रक्शंस एंड गाइडेंस फॉर दैट डोंट वरी एंड वो रूल्स होंगे यार वो विद इन आईएसबी प्लेसमेंट रूल समझ में आ जाएंगे मतलब आई वोंट गो दैट डीपर कि तुम्हें लगने लगे कि आईएसबी की जर्नी क्यों बीच में आ रही है पहले आईएसबी का जर्नी हो जाए तो आईएसबी तक की जर्नी हो जाए एंड देन दीस क्वेश्चंस आई विल बी मोर देन हैप्पी टू आंसर डोंट वरी
Yeah,
So I
and
guess I'll connect with you in
do
detail
not
next April.
do not talk about placement and stuff right now. Focus on getting it. It's a bit, not very difficult, but you cannot just sit idle and expect that this thing will happen. Admit will happen. You need to work hard for the admit as well.
एंड गाइस दिस इज नॉट अ लास्ट कॉल लाइक आई सेड लिंक्डइन में कनेक्ट कर लो अंशुल है अंशुल विल गिव यू 10 कनेक्ट्स
Yes. If anyone wants to talk to him, you're not able to find him, please let me know.
आराम से हो जाएगा ही अंशुल विल गिव यू 10 पीपल टू टॉक टू सो डोंट वरी
There was this guy called Devesh. He's currently at ISB with 10 years of work ex and only 710 in GMAT. He, of course, with that much of experience, he really wanted to be sure that where he is getting into, because he was having a really good profile. He already had a work experience in Japan, office of Maruti Suzuki, and he was managing Japanese subordinates as well. So, yes, and he joined very early. So we had so much of time. I gave him the contact of 10 people from automobile industry who went to ISB, and he talked to all 10 of them. And then he took a call.
That is actually good.
Very smart guy. He'd be a great asset to ISB. I'm pretty sure he's having a great time there right now. We did a
Actually, that's
call
an informed
like
choice.
this with
Yes.
him also before he left.
Oh,
He
nice.
also had a small self-doubting initial age ज़्यादा है और GMAT कम है. I said करना है या नहीं करना? I said हाँ करना तो है. Let's do it then.
Perfect.
Okay. I think there are no more questions. So thank you, Karan. from the bottom of my heart, thanks a lot.